Hello everyone, I'm Rita from OBN. We are in Miami at an Excellency International Conference. I'm here with Ana Maria and Sonal from Gerald Edelman. They are one of our partners in the UK. And we were discussing about how to set up a business and new operations into new countries such as the UK and Spain. So as we were discussing before, in Spain it's a very bureaucratic procedure. There are many steps, many requirements that you must meet. Overall, you need different certificates from notaries, commercial registry, even banks. And afterwards, you need to register for the commercial registry and tax authorities. So it's long, but it's not a difficult procedure at all.
Thank you, Marichel, for having us here. It's quite interesting you say the process in Spain is quite bureaucratic. In the UK, it's slightly the opposite. There are only 4 steps required to make or to incorporate a company. First of all, you have to find out a name of the company, and it's either name that you'd like to choose. Secondly, you also have to choose an address that the letters will be posted to, and also select one company director and shareholder. Shareholders should also be allotted some shares, so it's up to you how many shares to allot, and also the value of those shares. Minimum value is £1, but it's up to you. You can go higher or lower anyway. Once you collect all of that information, you can essentially lodge an application to the Companies House, which is the UK Registrar of Companies. And once the application essentially is processed, you'll then receive a certificate of incorporation, which signifies the company has been incorporated. So all in all, it's a really straightforward and quick process. What's interesting to hear is that you mentioned the process is quite bureaucratic. How long does it actually take to incorporate the company?
It may take between 1.5 months, 2 months, especially if they are foreigners, but as I've said before, it's not a difficult procedure at all. It's just that it's a little bit long because of these steps and requirements that we must meet. And you've said that it's very straightforward in the UK.
So it's actually quite interesting, and it's quite the opposite. As Ana Maria mentioned, once you've done an application form, and typically you do an application form online, unless there are any specific reasons to do a postal application form. And once the application form is lodged, a company can be incorporated within 24 hours. The reality is that it actually takes maybe about 4 to 5 hours. The company can be incorporated, get a certificate of incorporation along with all the other documents that are required in respect of incorporation. We've talked about how long it takes in the process, but in respect of the requirements for the directors and the shareholders and their residency, are there any specific requirements in Spain?
Actually, we don't have any limitations or restrictions to the ownership of a company regarding foreigners only. We can have the ownership of the company 100% from a foreign country. However, it's necessary that they have a foreign identification number, which it's easy to obtain. We can take care of it. And also it's important to take into account that we always recommend to have at least one of the directors as a Spanish resident, because it eases up many things with the tax authorities in case there's any problem afterwards and so on. But overall, there are no restrictions or limitations to foreigners in Spain.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
Actually, if you want to set up a company in the UK, whilst the process is so easy, it also doesn't matter whether the director or shareholder is based in the UK or anywhere in the world. There may be some complications if you want to open a UK bank account because of the money laundering procedures. Equally, if a director is resident overseas, so not from the UK, there may be some tax implications from the actual company perspective. And Sona can tell you more about it.
That's right, yeah. So whilst there's no requirements, we do need to consider aspects such as control and management issues, whereby if a director is residing in Spain, in our case, for example, and if they're making decisions in Spain, they're controlling the company in Spain, then it could be viewed to be that the company is actually being controlled and managed in Spain, in which case the UK authorities, HMRC, could view the company to be not tax resident in the UK, but perhaps tax resident in Spain. If that's the case, then how would that be considered from the Spanish authorities' side?
No, it is exactly as you are explaining. You have the risk to create a permanent establishment in Spain. That means that afterwards the profits need to be declared in Spain, so you need to pay the corporate income tax before the Spanish tax authorities. However, the Spanish tax system is very easy, it's very simple for companies. Apart of the VAT, which is very similar in the rest of the countries, specific taxes for specific economic activities. We have this corporate income tax, as I've said, which is 25% on the profits, on the annual profits. So it's very, very good for companies. Afterwards, we also have a reduced tax rate for new companies. So that's also a very good option for startup companies and these entrepreneurial companies that you may have in Spain.
That's right, yeah.
And that works for the first 2 years of the profits of the company. So that means that the first 2 years you only have to pay 15%, and after the third year you start paying the 25%. And of course we need also some specific requirements to be met if you want a very reduced tax rate, which we have, but it's only applicable for very specific cases.
That's actually very generous of the Spanish authorities. So in the UK, companies are subject to corporation tax. The current corporation tax rate is about 19%. Mm-hmm. The government has plans to increase corporation tax rate very much in line to Spain, where it's 25% from April 23 onwards. Mm-hmm. However, this is in relation to companies that are earned profits over £50,000. And there's a special way to calculate what the effective rate would be, which equates to 25% in essence. There are obviously, as we've mentioned earlier, other aspects that needs to be considered. So making sure that we've got a bank account in place, ensuring that we've got a director that is not resident in the UK, trying to consider controlled management, firm establishment, branch implications, also trying to consider any VAT implications post-Brexit, and also more in line with OECD at the moment in respect of economic substance. We must make sure that those are all considered, but these are in essence the general sort of points in setting up operations in the UK.
I think it's very interesting, and of course we are very much in line in this kind of tax and how does it work with the taxes in both countries. So thank you very much. It has been very interesting to have this discussion with you both.
Thank you, Marita. It has been indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you have any question regarding the UK or Spain, you have our contacts here, and we will be very happy to help you.